And I want to suggest 7 ideas or 7 lessons from what is happening in the world today that can show us how to succeed, how to be more competitive, how to be more successful. And the first is this: success, whether for business or for government, starts not with a policy, but with an attitude of mind. And that attitude has to be open and not closed. You can see this in debates over trade or immigration. Some people want to be open, some people want to be closed. And the question for any business, or actually any individual in today's world, is this: are you engaged, outward-looking, tolerant, or are you inward, intolerant, hunkered down? Do you see globalization as a threat, or do you see it as an opportunity? The second lesson: human capital is a nation's future. Education is the great liberator. The better educated a nation, the better equipped for the future. And that is education for all, without prejudice, without discrimination. Education for all, regardless of race, of faith, or of gender. Whether you're black or white, Muslim or Christian, man or woman, give people an equal chance to succeed, and we create a nation in which we're using all the talent of that nation. To succeed, we need government that is enabling and empowering, not controlling and overpowering. We need new partnerships between public and private and voluntary sector. We need to have a mix that is innovative and creative, and where the state serves the people and not the people the state. But if we create such a society, and if we change the relationship between citizen and state, we have to do one other thing as individuals. We also, as individuals, have to take more responsibility for our own lives. In other words, if we want a state and a government that is not paternalistic, but is our partner, then we too as individuals have to take some responsibility. And the changes in policy this means are very profound. And if we are to create a competitive economy, that competitive economy also requires a business-friendly government. It's enterprise that creates wealth. The role of government can be to help, or sometimes it can be to hinder. Now again, when we look at this kingdom here, and we look at foreign direct investment, and we see in 2004 it was just below $2 billion. In 2008, it's almost $40 billion. When we look, for example, at the Saudi Fast Growth Initiative, for the top 100 growing companies, and we think the top 45 have created some 28,000 jobs, many in the high-tech sector. There's a lot that's happening here, and a lot, again, that people can be very proud of. And for government, it can help in big ways. It's important that government maintains a steady, stable macroeconomic policy. It's important that it invests in things like infrastructure, where I know you've got a $100 billion plan on transport here. But also, here's the thing. The small things that government does also matter to creating a competitive economy. The Commercial Lien Act that you're about to introduce here. The National Competitive Center, recommendations on your legal system, on arbitration, on commercial law. These things also matter, because businesses, when they come in, they want to know a system is stable and predictable, and they also want to know it's equitable and reasonable. So that's the fourth thing. To be a competitive economy, you have to have a business-friendly government. The fifth thing is this. We should none of us be proud. We can all learn from each other. What I learned in the end as Prime Minister is that Usually, someone, somewhere, somehow is doing it right. The question is to find out where it is and who it is and how it is and try and do it. And the sixth is this, and I say this to any government leader or business leader, leader of an organization, a leader in any set of circumstances. Change is never easy, and the more necessary the change, the harder it is to do it. I found that in government. I found that in life. But what is interesting is this, that I always found that there was a pattern to how change happened. First, you propose a change. Everyone tells you it's a really bad idea. Then you try and implement the change. It's hell to do it. Then the change happens, and people think that's how it always was. And the seventh and final lesson is this. Nations, in fact businesses also, succeed not just by strong institutions or policies, but also by strong values. One of the great things about the Global Competitive Forum is that as well as discussing how they become more competitive, as you probably know, they've got an award, which is effectively an award for corporate responsibility. In other words, which are the businesses that are not just taking something out, but putting something back into the society in which they work. And the best companies are those that care for and value and invest in employees. A good society